Hey everyone, today we're diving into a story about power, money, and wild weddings. Yumo didn't hold back, pointing out that all the chairs were from a certain store, leaving the guy a bit flabbergasted and very. She asked Yumo how she figured it out, and it turns out she learned it all from Anna's thrift store. She never expected it would come in handy one day, and sensing her chance, Yumo swooped in and said, "I'm young, not rushing to marry." He quickly begged for 3 more meetings. This way, they could get to know each other better and decide later. At this point, Yumo felt like she was holding all the cards. The rest of the story unfolded just like a script. After a while, they quickly defined their relationship and started planning the wedding. The day before the wedding, Yumo visited her mother at the nursing home, wishing she could witness her big day. Sadly, her mom couldn't join in the festivities, as this was the price of her little white lie. Finally, the big day arrived, and they threw a lavish wedding, all at the groom's expense, of course. All she needed to do was make her father-in-law happy and hire some fake parents for the occasion. She got everything she wanted, moved into a mansion, and cruised around in a luxury car, living the high life. While she wasn't emotionally invested in the marriage, she played her role as the dutiful wife very well. One day, she attended a charity event with her husband, but an unexpected hiccup happened when it was a student's turn to speak. Fortunately, because her mother was of Lonier descent, Yumo had already been familiar with sign language and voluntarily came forward to offer help. Inspired by Yumo's encouragement, the event's outcome exceeded expectations, and her husband once again looked at her with newfound admiration. With his connections, her husband helped Yumo become the youngest university professor, and she started making appearances as Anna everywhere. Everywhere she went, she was the center of attention, especially since the real Anna had settled in America. One day, on her way home, she unexpectedly ran into the one person she least wanted to see, Anna. Feeling nervous, Yumo froze up. Those few seconds felt like an eternity. When she stepped out of the elevator, her legs collapsed and she sat on the floor, thinking, if Anna knows the truth, I'm doomed. After that, Yumo stayed at school late every day, only heading home after, ensuring no one was around. She just wanted to avoid Anna, but still ended up running into her almost a few times, each encounter filled with Anna's glee. Tired of living in fear, Yumo suggested they move, but her husband, caught up in his mayoral campaign, said no way. He even wanted Yumo to actively campaign with him, and despite her reluctance, she had no choice. After all, her marriage was all about mutual benefit. Since he was unreliable, she could only rely on herself. From then on, she climbed 23 flights of stairs home daily in 20 heels, and it wore her out. She even had to climb barefoot, but still couldn't hide the truth. Eventually, Anna confronted her, and Yumo found herself begging for forgiveness. But Anna coldly demanded $3 billion in compensation, or she'd ruin her reputation. Dejected, Yumo accepted the terms and handed over the $100 million she scraped together, hoping Anna would back off. To her disbelief, Anna tossed the money back at her and lectured, "Money can't solve everything unless you just don't have enough." Then she threatened to call her husband to foot the bill. Yumo couldn't afford to defy her, watching Anna strut away, wondering if she'd soon be exposed. On the stairs, humiliation and $3 BDAT suffocated her. Even if she gave Anna the money, who could ensure Anna wouldn't change her mind? After a struggle, Yumo decided to end the charade. Then she stepped on the gas and drove straight for Anna, who was walking home. The driver was just a minute late, but was berated as useless by the person in charge. Anna gave him a kick, which instantly gave the newlywed wife watching nearby a jolt. She had intended to stop her husband, but his violent behavior scared her into keeping silent, and she actually kicked him again on purpose. Only when the driver crumpled to the ground in pain did she silently drive off. You wouldn't believe it, this volatile person was a beloved candidate for mayor. After getting married, her husband transformed completely, forcing her to campaign every day. She was exhausted and sometimes dozed off on the floor, only to face his heartless betrayal. Watching the two sleep in the car, Emo chose to endure the pain yet again. She knew this was the cost of keeping up her fall. Adair, quietly closing the car door and picking up the phone. The next morning at breakfast, Emo cautiously asked her husband why the police showed up at the crack of dawn. But her husband brushed it off, swiftly changing the topic to praise a girl around their age. Emo panicked, thinking, what if he knows? All she could do was rush to gather the compensation for Anna, but this path was becoming increasingly difficult.